Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to another podcast here of the All Things Gratitude podcast. We are excited. I mean, we've been having a lot of fun. We're on week 3 now of guests, so this is great. Today we have a good friend of mine who I've happened to meet a couple times in person with her and Peter, and it's just been awesome on some of my trips, and been able to do this. So everybody, welcome to the show, Erika Warfield.
Yay! Whoa! And everybody's like, what is on her hands?
Yeah, all good. So, hey, we already got a comment. Bam! Russ Johns is in the house. Look at this.
It's Russ Johns.
How's it going, my friend?
Thank you for being here. You like the vintage, Russ? The vintage.
Yeah, look at that. Old school. Love it. So, Erika, I mean, God, every time we talk, we find some awesome things to talk about, you and I. And
we do.
We've just been enjoying our time together and with Peter, and we've made some nice trips. I've been down to Dallas a couple times now, and, we've had, restaurants have been kind of closed and everything, so we've had to find places to go. But we've always had a good time and had some great conversations. And before you know it, our half-hour, 45-minute dinner turns into 2 hours, and we're just laughing and joking. And the last place wanted to kick us out. It seemed like they kept rushing. Don't hurry. I'm like, yeah, you want us
out. Well, yeah, there was Cheesecake Factory, and we got there kind of late. I remember, and then we were there for like 3 hours, I think.
Yeah, it was a long time, that one.
It was. Thanks, Russ. And then we went around and walked around Sundance Square. And Peter and I showed out about what awful Texans we are, that we couldn't give the history of what happened in Sundance Square.
Yeah, it was all good.
There it is. Yay.
It was awesome because you and Peter were dancing and I'm sitting there taking videos because that whole area was just awesome. So that was a lot of fun.
It was wide open. Hello, Zurich. I can see the comments. Oh my gosh, this is like a first for me.
Yeah, I want to say what's up to my friend Troy Holt. He will be on the show. Yeah, he'll be on the show in a couple weeks. So that's awesome. Russ will be on. We got Brandon Garnis here. I went to high school with him, so we go way back. So thanks, Brandon, for jumping on and checking this out. That's awesome. So, we've been doing a lot of good. So, but we had a lot of fun. The last time we went to the Stockyard area.
Yes, you were staying at the Stockyards. And that was, just so anybody knows, Dallas is mostly open, but for some reason, the Fort Worth Stockyards, none of the restaurants were open. We had picked out some really great places to go to, and ain't none of them open. And so we ended up at Joe T. Garcia's, home of the Swirl Margarita. And if you've never had one of those, it's basically a margarita swirled with sangria. And so it's really super cool looking, unless you do like Nick and get, one of those liquid margaritas.
Yeah,
not the frozen one.
Very good. They were very good. So, and very good food too. That was for only having 2 things on the menu, which was weird, but it was very good.
Well, I guess that was their COVID menu. And what did you guys, you had the meat fajitas and we had the veggie fajitas, and it was really, I've never seen Peter eat that much food in that short a span of time.
Mr. Kenneth is in the house.
Kenneth.
Wow.
Scrumptiously, deliciously, edibly tasty, good conversation, baby.
Absolutely.
With the perspicacious podcaster. Have you bothered to look that word up yet?
No, not yet. Not gonna lie, but I'm gonna go with it. That can be my nickname from you, so I'm good.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, I'll just tell you. Perspicacious means having a ready insight and an understanding of things.
Cool. I'm glad. It sounds smart. So that's good.
There you go. There you go. Hey, Curtis.
We got a special one here. I think you know this person. Hey, Penny.
Penny is the bestest. Penny has been absolutely amazing. And I think the next time you come out to Dallas, we all need to get together. Yeah, because you've seen Fort Worth.
Yeah.
We need to get you out. Or even if we did Arlington. Oh.
Wherever. I mean, I obviously stay around the Fort Worth area because the property I go to is in Blue Mound, so it makes it very convenient for me. But we do have a property. Well, where are they all at? I think the other one would be, hell, I don't know. I got to think about it. I know it's Austin and San Antonio, but that's pretty far away. Frisco would be the next closest one, I think. So
Frisco would be a good one if you ever got to visit that. That is like a very foo-foo shishi area of Dallas.
Yeah, so I mean, I gotta go. I have to make a trip out there at some time. So
look at all
Sugarland,
the love.
Texas. Yeah,
Sugarland, London.
We are getting some. Hey, we got people on from the UK. Hello, Karen.
Karen Townsend.
Oh, thank you so much. This is awesome. We're going off on this. We got a lot of people on here, so I appreciate everything. I guess getting the LinkedIn Live has helped out. So,
I hope they all connect with each other.
Yes.
And if I'm not connected, please send me a connection request. I will absolutely accept. Hello, Troy Holt.
Absolutely. Here we go. We got some crazy people coming in now. We got Mr. Ira Bowman in the house.
Hey, Ira Bowman.
Yeah. We got hola, Miss Kelly Robinson.
Hola,
yeah.
Carita.
How's Eric doing, Kelly? Eric Knows is coming up. We're going to do a segment of that on the podcast. We're going to have fun with that.
You know, Warhammer just walked in the room and he looked at me and he thought about jumping in here.
What was that? Warhammer?
I said Warhammer entered the room and he thought about jumping in here.
I got it for you at the bottom of the screen, Warhammer. So
that's so awesome. Oh, Eric's with his dad tonight.
So Erika, tell everybody what you do a little bit, how you can help people out and everything with your B2B and all your strategy you can help people with.
Yeah, you know, when I first started branching off on my own, I didn't even, it's so funny, my background is radio, TV, film, and copywriting, and a little bit of digital marketing. And this was just as I was doing Professor Pete's podcast. And he was like, well, what's your title? And I was like, what? I didn't even have a new title. And so Professor Pete gave me a title and he was like, I'm going to call you a fractional sales strategist. But basically what I try to do is a lot of what I did when I was just sales. And what I noticed is when I was just sales was I really wasn't just sales. I actually employed what I called the forgotten trifecta to strategic growth. And that was being able to do outbound sales, but then also being super strong at digital marketing and then also strong at irresistible copywriting. And a lot of people get that copywriting component confused, thinking that if you do content writing, it's the same thing, and it's not. Copywriting is a very specific formula of knowing, you know, the 6 different levels of awareness that your prospect may be at, and then knowing the 6 different approaches to employ in your writing to tap into his brain and ride shotgun in it and never leave and just, you know, just be there in a way that is compelling to where that person will take action. And so I kind of always focused on those 3 things when I was in sales for every company I was ever with. And then when I went out on my own, I realized nobody does this. And so I just started focusing on it. And just in this last month of being on my own, I have been blessed with a lot of really awesome business and activity and people that are starting to look at how they approach copywriting and marketing differently. And you can actually have a functional approach to sales and marketing. They can work functionally. Kind of like medicine. You can have Western doctors and Eastern medicine, and they can work functionally. They don't have to be exclusive of each other. Hey, Paula Goodman.
Yes. Paula, how's Canada going? How's our friend up north? So awesome. You know, I mean, that's kind of how we met through what you do. You know, we met through a friend that we knew, I'll say, and a person that we knew. And you helped me out a lot. And, you know, you helped me build my LinkedIn page. You helped me do some stuff in the very beginning for me when I was very new to this. And and we just kept a friendship since, and it's been really awesome. And we've always respected each other. We've been good to each other, and it just blossoms into friendships. And that's what's so great about social media platform if you use it correctly. Like we do LinkedIn, because that's our major thing, I believe, is at least for me it is. If you use it correctly, well, I guess there's not a right or wrong way to use it. It's how you want to use it. But if you take advantage of the system, you meet some great people. They're there to help you. And then, you give, I give, then all of a sudden it turns into a great relationship where we can meet each other's families. We can go out to dinner and we can just have a good time and laugh and joke. And usually when you meet people, people like this, on social media or anything. But then when you meet them in person, sometimes it's just kind of awkward or strange or anything because you don't know what to expect. But man, we just hit it off right away, me, you, and Peter, and it was just fantastic. I mean, we just had such a good time talking about family history, talking about Peter's history, talking about your history, talking about, oh man, we got into conspiracy theories, ancient aliens.
That it was awesome. Making fun of Peter because he got Eddie Van Halen and Led Zeppelin confused.
I almost reached across the table and slapped him on that one. Can't do that.
I mean, to anybody who's like, how did that happen? Peter is quite a bit younger than myself and Nick. And to answer Kenneth's question, I am drinking a dandelion root detox tea. And so I know, so exciting, right? No, and so Peter was telling the story, and he always gets Van Halen and Led Zeppelin confused. And the story, I don't know why he's so proud of this story. I find the story to be embarrassing, but back in the early 90s, I was actually living in LA, like the kind of West Hollywood area of LA. And I had gone out to dinner with my girlfriend, and we walked into this kind of, I don't know, this hip hangout, and there was this table, and you could tell it was an entourage of just men. And at the head of the table was Eddie Van Halen. And so my girlfriend and I, we do our thing. We don't pay attention. You don't ever want to do that because then you look like a schmuck. And so don't pick on Warhammer. He's probably listening and laughing right now. He loves this story. And so we sit down to dinner, and a gentleman from Van Halen's table, and he was married to Valerie Bertinelli at the time. He comes over to our table and asks me to join them for dinner. But he doesn't ask my girlfriend. He's like, no, and I was like, no, I'm not having that. I'm here with my girlfriend. I'm eating dinner with my girlfriend. Thank you very much. You all enjoy your dinner. And so Peter just thinks that's the most hilarious story. But he always gets to that line and says, she turned down Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. I almost fell out of my seat when you told me that story. And he has a big old smile on his face from ear to ear. He just loves it.
Yeah, and it just gotten to the point where I'm like, yes, I turned down the whole band.
That's awesome. So.
But yeah, Ancient Aliens, that was something I never thought that you and I would go on like two little old chickens talking about church. I mean,
it was great. And it was funny because we talked about shows that we both watched, and just, that show is full of, there's fact, but conspiracy theory. But what it does, it makes you think. And that's what I love about it. And I think that's one of the reasons why you like it too, because it makes you think. It gives you an open mind.
Yeah.
We got background noise going somewhere.
I've got my earbuds in because my stereo on my laptop is starting to get really, really bad, the speakers. So I think that might be you.
Okay, well, that's weird.
There's like a massive conversation going on here in the comments. I love it.
I know, this is fantastic. So that's a weird echo we got going on because I got everything shut off now. Interesting, but whatever.
Anyway, what was the one that we were talking about, the pyramids in Egypt? And
Yes.
you were convinced.
Damn alien built that thing. I don't care. People can think I'm weird. I mean, humans cannot bring up 40,000-pound blocks up that high and cut granite against the grain perfectly flat at a 90-degree angle when we can barely do it now with diamond cutters. It's like,
But they managed to, I don't know, make massive logs out of river reeds from the Nile, and then they just kind of scooted them up.
Yeah, I just don't know how to cut granite against the grain. That's all I want to know. But once I get that answered, I'm good with it. What do we got here?
It is. They don't want us talking about this.
Exactly.
But it's true, because I think which South American country is it? Good night, Karen. Sleep well.
Thanks for checking us out.
There's a South American country, and I can't remember if it's South or Central American, but there's another group of pyramids. You may remember this show, Nick. There's another group of pyramids known as the aliens, and they correspond to a certain constellation, which then corresponds to the pyramids in Egypt, in Giza. Mm-hmm. And they all have the same measurements and dimensions. It was crazy.
We went on a cruise a couple years ago, and we went to Belize. So we went to Chechnya, the Mayan ruins, and their big town there, and that was just absolutely amazing to me. And then we floated down in tubes through the Mayan caves, and they had a bunch of caves where we went through. It was like 4 or 5 miles long, and it was pitch black, so we had lights on our head looking at everything, but you could see where they lived in there, had everything carved out, and it was just an awesome experience, just thinking how being somewhere like that, and it's kind of like you get this cold feeling in you because it's like, ooh, because there's something there, but it's just awesome. And then you go to places where they had this whole area where it was their sacrifice area. So when you got there, it seemed like it got really cold.
Did the Mayans do that? I thought they were sort of an agricultural agrarian community. Did they do that?
No, what they did was, and this guy could have been wrong. This was our guide telling us. So they had a big stadium where you play a game, and the winner of the game got executed. Whatever sense does that make? And so a lot of people think that's why they vanished, because they took out all their good people, and that was one of the conspiracies to that. So I was like, well, why would you take that out? Oh, I got to do this really quick. This is a guy I used to work with. What's up? Go Seahawks. Yes. Watch out. Ira's going to come back with Go Raiders. So I know he is. So
is that what Go Hawks is? I didn't know that was short for Seahawks. Okay.
Yeah. Kenneth agrees. I concur with this one. Yes. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. I mean, it's so fun to sit down and talk with people about this, and just, especially when people have open minds, because you can go so many different directions and so many different ways that, you can think about something like this happening. I mean, it's just, and it amazes me being in the construction field and everything, looking at the Romans when they made a complete water system. They did have a system later, they had saunas, how they made saunas and all that stuff. It amazes me. And I'm like, we have these pyramids that are thousands of years old, and they've withstand every natural disaster that Mother Nature has thrown at them. And then you got a house that's 20 years old that blows over in the wind. I'm just like, good Lord. Yeah. And all these things have all these hurricane trappings, all these special things, and all those are just made out of solid block. It's just crazy.
Well, I think there's a couple of different things. I think today everything's about a scheduled obsolescence, where it is designed to break. It is designed to make you go get the upgrade. It is designed to make you right after warranty. I think that's sort of, the first thing. It is always Nick's fault.
Yes, it is. Curtis. Hey, Curtis, call me later. I'll tell you my conspiracies on this.
Yeah, it's not just that, not just the alien thing, but it is the alien thing. But, like biblically, the time of the giants, right?
Mhm.
And then you look at the hieroglyphics, and maybe I'm going to have people from when I was working on my PhD call me the biggest idiot if they ever heard this. But you look at the hieroglyphics and you look at the paintings, and there's these massive, the pharaohs, they drew them to be absolutely massive. And then all the servants were like these teeny tiny people. And it's like, okay, was that just like your take on how massive you thought the pharaoh was? Or was the pharaoh really like 9 feet tall? I mean, it just kind of blows my mind. And where did that come from?
That's why I say aliens with the pyramids, because they have them with little saucers above them, and they're looking up and
Or the bubbles on their head.
Yes, these are beaming down. I mean, it all ties together.
Absolutely.
Followers, probably.
People are like, these two, what were they drinking before they got on? They had some of those swirl margaritas.
Hey, I mean, it was good. I mean, just, another day at work. I come home, we have some work going on in our backyard and we're seeing progress. So it just makes you, it's awesome. So,
what are you doing? Are you putting a pool in?
Yeah, we're putting a pool in. So they're going to start tiling it tomorrow. So it's kind of cool. So a lot of fun. It's been fun watching the process.
Is it going to be one of those fancy schmancy saltwater pools?
It is going to be a saltwater pool, but that's normal down here. So that's what everybody has. So yeah, we'll have salt water. We'll have a little bubbler in it and some waterfalls. So it's going to look pretty cool. I'll send you a picture later of it. So yeah, we're going to have a party at my house sometime. I haven't told my wife yet, but she'll listen to it on the broadcast. So,
yeah,
honey, we're going to have some people over.
Yeah, we're all going to descend upon there. And what, you've got like 3 bathrooms and there'll be 20 of us piled into your house.
That's all right. We can go use Erika's house. Hey, Joe made it.
Oh, Cup of Joe made it.
Yes, he did. Hey, great show yesterday, Joe. I watched it with Ira, your Cup of Joe, so the other day. So awesome job, guys. So what's been going on? I mean, I just saw you. Let LinkedIn and YouTube and media and the world know what's going on with Erika Warfield.
I have been really, really blessed over the last 2 months. I've not been posting as much on LinkedIn, and that is because I am getting to work with some really fabulous clients and making new connections, doing a lot of discovery calls, things of that nature. And it's been, people have been making my day left and right. Just things that I didn't even know how I was perceived. Not that one walks around their day thinking, how am I perceived? I typically kind of run around thinking I really don't care. And, to have these discovery calls and these amazing people, kind of pour out back into me. And it's just been not something I ever anticipated. So that's been wonderful. We live near family. And so I've been getting to see, my parents and my sister, and she just moved to some little podunky town south of Dallas, like way south of Dallas. So we're going to get to go over there and visit them. She's on quite a bit of acreage. So I was surprised when she said, here's the gate code. I was like, for the cattle gate? What? What do you mean the gate code? So yeah, there's been that. Peter has been very busy. For those of you who don't know, Peter Hammer is my husband, and that's why people tend to refer to us as Warhammer. He really needs to make this an official announcement, but he is in practice and he's training to make the Olympic team. He's going back and he's going to do Greco.
Awesome.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, that's wrestling. So throw that out there.
Yes, it's the kind of wrestling where you don't get to go for the legs. You literally have to pick people up and throw them.
My little brother was good at that. So, and I know Peter and I had a nice conversation when we were driving around to the restaurant about that. So I'm really happy for him, and wish him all the luck on that. So yeah, I know that's what he loves. So
he's very excited, and I have yet to see him wrestle, but apparently at the last practice, what I get to see is the fun stuff. He came home and he was just kind of like, I can't breathe. And apparently the coach taught him a new move. but then fell on him. And so he's got a cracked rib.
Oh, well, might hurt the cough for a couple days, but he'll make it through.
Look at you.
Hey, that's just the old, coach and player in me, just, hey,
shake it off.
On it, you'll be fine.
Shake it off. Well, the next day he was like, he couldn't laugh. He was hurting to sneeze. He was trying to, play on me. And I was like, you still got chores to do. I told you if you got injured, I was not going to. So I'm kind of the same way. I'm like, suck it up, poor guy.
Dude, Erika, this is one thing I love about this podcast because it's not scripted. Who would ever guess we're going down we're talking about aliens, conspiracy theories. We're talking about Chechnya. We're talking about Egyptian. We had a biblical throw out there. We're talking about giants. We got everything going. We got comments are just flying on this. This is awesome. This is one of the reasons why, also too, you want to brand yourself and do things. So podcast is good for branding yourself, and doing things like that and meeting a lot of cool people. But, everybody sees me looking to the side here because all these comments.
They're flying. Joe's like, shut up.
You've thrown out some good ones too when you're in the comments. I'm just like, sometimes when I just start laughing, it's because I'm reading the comments and I'm like, sorry guys, didn't mean that.
Because it's not me. I'm not that funny, but I'm laughing at Joe just saying he needs to shake it off. Poor Peter.
Come on, Peter.
That is too funny. He's probably trying to figure out where we are. I guess I should send him the link, huh?
Yeah. So, this is great. Everybody, jumping in here. And we got people from all over. We had Canada, US. We had London earlier. We had a guy from Zurich on. He said hi earlier today. So, this is really cool. It's nice we were able to reach out and get around to a lot of people. And you know what? I don't care if there's only 5 or 6 people who watch it live. If we can make a couple people laugh and make their day, that's what it's all about. And then the word will get out and it'll get all over. And, and then Ira is right on it. His goal is to distract the host and the guest. So he doesn't do too bad at that. So
he's really good at that, actually.
Yeah.
He's really good. I think it's because he's honed his craft as a host.
What's up, Jordan? How you doing, my friend? Jordan's another person I've met
in
person.
Made it.
Yes. Jordan's they just had a baby. It's got to be 5 or 6 months old now. Yeah, so around there. So yeah, it's got to be close. No, 4. Sorry, Jordan. I'm trying to count in my head because I think your wife was ready to pop when I was first in town when we first met. So it was kind of like, looking at the watch. Do we need to get out?
No, Jordan, for reals, your baby is beautiful. And I don't say that to everyone. I am so awful about that. I don't think all babies are beautiful. All babies are precious, but not all babies are beautiful. Jordan has a beautiful baby.
5 months right there. Yep. So, watch out. Any church you go to, he gets in trouble at church.
Yeah, I get in trouble at church too.
5 months old. That's awesome, Jordan. And, Jordan's got an awesome podcast too. And Jordan's going to be a guest on the show here coming up. So, yes.
Hey, Peter Hammer just walked in. Peter, I was telling him.
Whoa. So, people were talking about your rib, Mr. Warhammer, and I just want to know people really enjoyed hearing about this. But all we said was all you need to do is shake it off. So remember that, Peter.
Shake it off.
Oh, dude. Paula dropped it. That's right. The ugly baby Seinfeld episode. That was so hilarious.
I didn't see that one. I was not a Seinfeld fan. Ancient Aliens.
It's a pretty funny one.
Was it the same thing? They were like, not all babies are beautiful.
I agree. But oh man, this is great. So wow, there's that background again. That's weird because I have nothing on. So weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. But it's all good, you know. I mean, we're having fun. People are having fun.
It's probably mine. I really need to take my MacBook in because it is an older MacBook.
Yeah.
And maybe I can take it apart and jack it up.
Watch out. It's the aliens.
It is the aliens. They're mad that we exposed them. Maybe it's what is it? The Atlanteans? The Atlanteans? Somebody was saying that the lost city of Atlantis, really, the people are still around. I don't know.
They're mermaids, right? Swimming underneath the.
I don't know. Peter's throwing up little hammer emojis.
Oh my God, Paula. Oh, I'm gonna get kicked off LinkedIn Live on my first day.
They should have done something like superimpose like Bill Gates' face over the baby. I mean,
Wrong one. They're going too fast, the comments.
I know.
There you go. Ira has a question for you.
What are we doing with the Atlanteans? Thank you. You know, Ira, I always talk about the fact that I'm into vintage. And first of all, I thought I would wear red in homage to that sleeping bag that Joe wore on Tuesday. That Mr. Incredible, you know, red sleeping bag he had on with the abs.
Bag.
It looked like a sleeping bag. And so I decided I was going to wear one of my 50s dresses. And I have my mother's, I don't know if you can see it, her fishnet gloves.
Hey, look at that.
I'm
glad you come in your Thursday best. I appreciate it for the podcast.
Yes, I thought I can't show up in what I typically wear. Oh no, I got to put lipstick on too. I hate makeup.
You don't have to wear makeup on my show. We all know this.
Well, no, I don't have eyebrows. Do you know this? I'm half Japanese. The Japanese, we are not a hairy people. So I have to put my eyebrows, I have to draw them in. There you go. Poor Joe. What's poor Joe? I can't even see what the comments are doing.
They're going so fast right now. I'm trying to keep up. And when I click on one, it clicks on the wrong one.
I know, right?
I'm so fast. I love it.
Paula, you've got more tea gloves than I do. I think I've got 5, and then my mother's set of opera gloves from the 1960s. I love gloves.
There we go. Looks Madonna.
Oh, Joe, no. No. There's nothing about me that is like Madonna. I am Team Cyndi Lauper. I'm just going to say. I am not Team Madonna.
Yeah. I wouldn't be Team Madonna either, so I don't blame you there.
Cyndi was way more talented. Cyndi had a 4-octave range. She would hate the fact that I said Team Cyndi over Team Madonna. She was truly about women's empowerment. And she was a supporter of Madonna as well when everybody was trying to tear them up. By the way, my PhD was in ethnomusic. Well, it would have been in ethnomusicology had I finished. But part of what they would do is study sort of the anthropological perspective of current music. So there are very much in-depth studies as, you know, Madonna, was she or was she not a riot girl? You know, it was like people would write their PhDs over stuff like that.
That's crazy.
Yes, it was. It was really, I remember reading that. And, you know, Courtney Love, and what was the importance of her naming her band Hole, and what was the cultural significance of that? And it was, can you see why I am not?
There's a couple conspiracies on why the Courtney Love named her band that too. So
yeah.
Being from Seattle area around the Nirvana stuff, and then Courtney Love around there, you heard a lot of things. So
yes, like what actually happened to Kurt Cobain?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just Never.
You're like, no comment, no comment.
That's the thing, every time you drive, when you're in Washington and you're driving to Ocean Shores, you go by that house all the time. And they have signs out there that say Kurt Cobain's house, and people know where it is and all that stuff. So yeah, so it's pretty well known. So
I had no idea. I had no idea people still talked about it.
oh, Nirvana talked about in the Seattle area and everything. I mean, probably one of the biggest bands, just because what they did during that era of music, brought a whole new grunge era and put it on the map. They didn't bring it, but they're the ones who got popular from it. So, and it's pretty cool. The guy had the worst voice ever, but for some reason it worked. I mean, it just worked.
I don't know. I'm looking at Paula's. Thank you, Penny. And Paula, I hope Elvis isn't still alive after they basically said in his autopsy he had 10 pounds of grossness in his intestines.
Did you watch that on Reels or whatever? The autopsy of Elvis? Oh my goodness.
I know. I would not want, if he's still alive and that got passed around, that's embarrassing. No.
Here goes Paula. Sorry, Warhammer, you wouldn't know about this.
Oh no, Peter. Yeah, I think Peter knows who Elvis is. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'll give him that. But no, I'm talking about Paula's comment. The 80s were the best. Yeah.
I will say this. The 80s were the best for music. I would love to burn every picture of me in the 80s wearing 80s fashion.
Boy, the hot pinks, the hot oranges, just the
neon, the hairspray. I had a perm, and then I took hairspray to the perm, and I would literally make the hair do like this, and the bangs were up, and oh my gosh, I looked like I could have been the lead singer for Flock of Seagulls or something. It was awful.
Flock of Seagulls, love it. There it is. Paula's in tag jail.
Is she really? Yes, Paula, the bowed hair. I actually won a hairspray award in college. I remember I went to a band banquet, and I think it was my sophomore year. I don't even know why they gave it to me, because I had really short hair. Not that anybody cares. I'm sorry I'm making this about me, but it was like one of those stacked bobs that came down like this, and it required a lot of hairspray. They gave me a hairspray award. So I would like to say the 80s and 90s were not kind to women regarding fashion. No. Bye, Ira.
Yeah, Ira, thanks for stopping by, man. I love this. Warhammer thinks Elvis was the king of hip hop.
Well, he did kind of dance around. He was the first to dance around like he had ants in his pants.
Well, and they kept the camera from the waist up because that was risque back then.
It was risque. It was. That picture makes Peter look like a young Elvis.
Here we go for the 80s. High school bathrooms were a chemical compound.
Were they?
Wait, all hairspray and everything.
Oh, yes. I never really got to go to the high school bathrooms. Isn't that weird?
It's probably a good thing. I'm just surprised more teenage girls' hairs didn't start on fire in the 80s, just with all that stuff in there.
Oh my gosh. Paula, do you remember, we're probably boring half the room, but it was called Aussie Sprunch Spray, and it smelled awful. It smelled like grapes.
I don't remember it, so sorry. I want to say hi to my friend, Dr. Ken Richmond. I was on his first ever live show, so I just loved. Ken was awesome. We did one for about 20 minutes, and it was great, and had a lot of fun with him. I'm going to get him on this show, too. Just great guy. So,
is Ken even old enough to remember the 80s?
Oh, Ken is, yeah.
Okay.
But everybody on here, connect with Ken. He's a great guy. He got great insight. He's got some books out. He's really good at what he does. So, awesome guy. So, let's see.
Connected with Ken at. I know you, David. Um, she remembers it.
Smoking in the boys' room. Remember that song? There you go.
Yeah, I wasn't into them. I was more of a Duran Duran person.
Oh, that wasn't Led Zeppelin?
No, that was not Led Zeppelin. No, I was a Duran Duran fan, and I am going to go. Nice. I am going to go on record as saying John Taylor was one of the most underrated bassists, and I would put him up there with Geddy Lee, for reals.
I can respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if I agree with it, but I can respect it. See,
if you listen to his bass lines, they were amazing.
Actually,
and he'd only been playing bass for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Do what?
I had him on my listening to my earbuds today. So, I mean,
who? Geddy Lee?
No, Duran Duran.
Which song?
Ordinary World. I got like 12 of them in here.
Okay. So. Here's the bass line you need to listen to. Hold Back the Rain. Find that one. Listen to it. It is so freaking fast. He had to play it with a pick.
I got all the live versions. I only listen usually to live music. I don't like studio music too much.
Yeah.
Because for me it sounds better, and they got the crowd in the background, and the crowd can get into it. Like,
yeah.
Well, Geddy Lee, Rush has some, 2112 Live and all that stuff, where the crowd is so into it and all that stuff. So Live at Rio was just amazing. So I like live performances. Most of my music I download live, the live version of stuff. So,
but I'm surprised you even have Duran Duran. I totally see you downloading. I don't know.
80s and 90s. I
saw you more as like,
I got country music in there. I got rap in there. I got rock in there. Classic rock. If it sounds good, I like it. If it's got a good beat, and I like music that has good meaning behind it. It doesn't matter what it is. If the song has a great meaning, it's awesome. And sometimes you just need upbeat stuff while you're at work, and sometimes it just sucks, and you need to get lifted up. It's like, so
throw up. You got to throw up on the Chiron, Paula Goodman at 7:40. Yes.
Yeah,
that's 7:41. The one above it.
Warhammer, I'm proud of you.
Yes.
Did you have to Google that Warhammer, or did you know that one?
No, he knows that one.
Okay, fantastic.
He knows that one. He knows it. Yes. Oh, well, Hammer knows that Hungry Like the Wolf is a cha-cha.
Oh, okay.
So we've danced cha-cha to it.
All right.
Yes. So yeah, that's one that he does like. He actually watched I made him watch it, but he actually ended up enjoying it. It was on YouTube. It was the basis for, he would know. Was it 1011? What's the name of that band? The bassist name is named Christian, and he covered from memory the whole Rio album, playing just the bass line.
Wow.
From memory. And he did it because he just got the he was the, what do you call it? The sponsored endorsement for a line of bass guitars. And he literally played the whole Rio album in the background, and then he covered the bass line. And Hold Back the Rain, I think, is on a fretless bass. One of them's on a fretless bass.
I know this would get to Curtis. He loves music.
Curtis!
Yes. If you ever want an awesome conversation, talk to Curtis about music. It's fantastic. It's a lot of fun.
What is Curtis listening to?
He's more the laid back. What do you say, Curtis? Throw it out there. I don't want to misrepresent you. So I want to make sure it's right here.
I'm going to tell you what my secret is.
What's your secret?
I love Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay. I can respect that. It's good music. Absolutely.
Yes.
So here we go. Name your top 5 bands. What would be your top 5 bands that, if everybody else was away, these are the top 5 that you can listen to the rest of your life?
The rest of my life?
Yeah, just say it. Just for the heck of it.
Well, my master's is in music, so that's going to be like a broad spectrum.
But I'm sure there's some where you're like, this is awesome. Like bands. Just what are your bands?
Okay, so what are our, like, got it. I would probably put up there Toby Mac, if anybody's familiar with Toby Mac.
I know Toby Mac. My wife listens to him. Yep.
I would totally listen Toby Mac all day. I would probably listen to, well, the Newsboys aren't around anymore as much, but I'd probably put in some Newsboys, like Take Me to Your Leader. I would totally listen to Duran Duran all day, every day. It just, not for the nostalgia, there is the nostalgia, but from a musical perspective, I just think Simon Le Bon was this brilliant lyricist. And I think the bass line is amazing. And even Nick Rhodes, if you listen to his synth, it's really hard to make synthesizer sound timeless, but there are songs you would listen to it and it's like, yeah, that could still pass for today as being ageless. And then Roger Taylor was just brilliant on the drums. Yep. So Duran Duran, that's like only 3. Sidewalk Prophets is another Christian band I would listen to. And I just forgot the name of the band. It'd probably be another Christian band though. Okay. Because I tend to, in my relaxing hours, I tend to listen to contemporary Christian music.
That's what my wife listens to. She all the time. So these bands you're naming, I've heard of them and I know their songs, but yeah, so that's awesome. So mine's the complete opposite of yours.
You're listening to heavy metal. He's like, I listen to Skrillex.
So the first one would probably burn me in hell because of the type of music you listen to. But my number 5 band I love of all time is Black Sabbath. Just their bass lines and guitar riffs are just insane. So
they do have good bass lines, but I'm not super familiar with Black Sabbath.
You'd probably burn if you heard it, if you would listen to Christian music. So you probably want to stay away from that. My number 4 favorite band is Pink Floyd. Just love Pink Floyd.
I can see that.
Number 3 is the Beatles. Just absolutely love the Beatles. I just love them. Let's see. Number 2. I got a tie for 2, so technically I got 6. Number 2 is Nirvana and Rush.
Yeah, I could see.
Nirvana was great because it grew. Nirvana hit like my later high school years. We were down in Seattle. We used to see them when they were playing free before they even hit it.
I remember that story, and everybody was like, "Dorsey, you got to get down here. There's this band."
Yeah, it was called Pain in the Grass in Seattle. They used to have it all the time out in the Seattle Center. They'd have all kinds of bands come out, Sweetwater Goodness, Mother Love Bone turned into be Pearl Jam. I mean, just stuff like that. Those were all free back then because nobody knew who they were. They're just local club bands, so it was really cool. And Rush, I just love Rush. I mean, a 3-person band.
I will throw this out there.
They do, and it's just amazing. And my favorite band of all time, this is why I got mad at Warhammer, is Led Zeppelin. So you cannot confuse me with anybody. So
you cannot confuse it with anyone.
I like all, the crazy thing about Led Zeppelin, this is a good story, is I didn't listen to them much during high school or anything. I really didn't know who they were. And then I got to college and one of my roommates listened to them all the time. And I'm like, I knew the words. It was so weird. I'm like, I know this song. And then but that's not the music I listen to. And I was singing the song. And I came home for Christmas one year and my sister was playing Led Zeppelin. I'm like, hey, I know who is this? I know this, and she's like, oh, it's Led Zeppelin going away. And I'm like, God, I know all these words. And she goes, I used to rock you to sleep to Led Zeppelin. So it was like just embedded in my head. My sister's 12 or 13 years older than me, so she was always rocking me to sleep and everything, and she'd always play her Led Zeppelin LPs.
Nick, you were probably thrashing in the womb. She was playing that one.
My mom's Beatles. She likes Jimi Hendrix. She likes stuff like that. So maybe, who knows? So
that is hilarious. I am going to throw this out there because there's a lot of music lovers out there, and I just discovered this on YouTube. Are you ready, you guys? Are you ready? Are you taking notes? Okay, there is a channel on YouTube called Hildegard von Blingen, and it's a take on a medieval composer who was a woman, and her name was Hildegard von Bingen. There is a new genre out called bardcore, and they basically do medieval sounding covers of present day songs, and it is the funniest thing you will ever listen to.
Okay.
I'm such a dork. But her version with Friar Funk, her version of Pumped Up Kicks is freaking hilarious. And Jolene was really, really good. I didn't like Bad Romance, but she also did, was it Gotcha's Somebody I Used to Know? All ridiculously funny. And the words changed for medieval words. So Pumped Up Kicks becomes Buskin' Boots.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that song, all the other kids with the pumped up kicks. And so she's got this beautiful ethereal voice. There's medieval, instruments and dunebecks and recorders going on in the background. And you hear this, all the bully rooks in their buskin boots, And it's just, they change all the words. They have the medieval. So if you've never heard of bardcore, check out Hildegard von Bingen on YouTube, and you will roll, especially the Jolene one too.
Absolutely. Paula wants you to send her the link with the right spelling.
Okay.
So, Mr. Stewart here, I don't think I've ever met him before, but I really like him now because his favorite band, hands down, is Led Zeppelin. So thank you, sir.
Oh, Stewart, sucking up to the host.
Hey. Oh, we got Tina Turner and the Bee Gees. I mean, Paula's going off on this. This is great.
I used to roller skate to the Bee Gees. Love
the Doors. I do like the Doors. I do really like the Doors, but only certain Doors songs, not all of them, because if you really get deep into the Doors,
are they messed up?
It was different. Yeah, it was a lot. But they do have some songs that just, Light My Fire, LA Woman, just popular songs that people know that, just got going. But yeah, that was, this is great. But I do love that era of music. I do love the 60s and 70s era of music. If I had to pick one, that's my favorite eras. For me, and it's not against anybody, but back then I just felt there was more talent because you didn't get recognized. It wasn't like one-hit wonders. It was like you had to work. You had to record your own stuff, edit your own stuff, and there wasn't editing machines like there are now. I mean, it was and they had to promote themselves. They had to do everything themselves. There wasn't a lot of people doing everything for them. The big bands had those people, but not the other ones. And people now go for one-hit wonders because they want to make their $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, and it's just. I see all Led Zeppelin songs, and it was like, get in for $1. It was like $1 for a ticket. It's like, how you split $1 between 20 people, with the band.
Look at Peter. He's all into Epica and EDM.
Yeah, Epica is. Maybe they are.
I will say this. Here's the quiz. Nick tried to give me this quiz at our first dinner, and I nailed it. So I want to see this in the comments for all of you watching. What was the first music video played on MTV?
Yes. Somebody's got to know this.
Answer that one. Yeah.
And I guarantee. I don't think it was Golden Earring.
Nope, that's not the band's name. But that is the. Anybody know the band's name? Anybody gonna ring in? You can't go and search. Look, they're being so quiet. That means they're searching like Google right now.
Yeah, they are. Did you have to go home and Google it after I told you that?
No, I told you who it was. It was Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles.
Yeah.
I kept saying.
I can't remember if you had to Google it or not. I'm like, oh, I actually made you Google something. That'd be great.
No. I remembered the Buggles, and then Duran Duran blew it all up.
But you know what? Wasn't that the most just perfect, ironic song for MTV to play? Just start.
They couldn't have picked any other song.
Yeah, that was just perfect. What is it? Golden Earring? They had a version too.
If they did, I don't know. I just remember the Buggles.
Yeah, that wasn't the MTV version, Paula, but we'll give you points for it because you got the right song. So there you go.
First with Video Killed the Radio. And Rush Johns, he knows it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was funny. I was telling the last place I worked, they were a lot of younger people working there, and I gave him that, gave him that little tidbit and told him that, and they're all there Googling. I'm like, this song sucks. I'm like, well, that's the first song in MTV. Just remember it. I go,
Wow.
you'll win a trivia night one day in a bar with that answer, because it's getting to the point where MTV now is just so.
It's not music. I don't even. It's all reality TV.
Yeah, exactly. So, God, see, once again, this is why I love this podcast.
You're so old.
Every angle we go from, I mean, and
no, she was in the Go-Go's, Paula. That's the Go-Go's.
This is what I love. I mean, I know, Erika, these go way too long because we lose people's interest sometimes, but this one's keeping people going.
I know. And just so you know, Paula, it's Susanna Hoffs of the Bangles.
Yeah. That's awesome. But, all right. So, next time I'm working, I'm going to talk with Jordan. He's been talking to me a little bit about it. And yes, Paulo, you have lost it. You lost it ever since you've been on our podcast. I ruined you. I'm sorry.
But, oh my God. Who knew we were going to go on this 80s theme?
I know. That's what makes it fun, I'm thinking about doing one of these podcasts and get a bunch of people on. We're just going to do it about music. And we're just going to battle it out. Just battle it out. It would be a lot of fun.
Well, you know who's going to kill us on all the present day stuff? Peter.
Yeah, but that's fine. The president stuff, whatever. You got to take it back to the real music. The one that made these current people be real music. So, and all the riffs they're ripping off from all the older people. Just remember that.
Right.
But you can only have so many. I mean, you get to the point where you just naturally the riffs run out. So you have to. Well,
there's that. And like the whole Madonna, Lady Gaga thing, and Madonna was throwing shade, and she was like, her music's reductive. And before Gaga even responded, I was like, Madonna, all you're doing is 1-4-5-1 chords. It's not like proprietary. There's only a certain number of chords here,
Yep.
But I will say the whole Gaga, the image thing, and even that, I mean, not that I agree with it, but she won up Madonna on that one too. So it's like, what, just accept you're a granny. Just go accept you're a granny now. It's okay to be a granny.
Look at this question.
Makes what? I don't
screen.
know how to act my age. Right?
Yeah. So another one of those that makes you think.
It does. Peter was laughing at me today because I had on my Took shoes, which are like, they're called creepers, and they're patent pink leather. And they have a buckle across the top, and they've got a platform heel like this. And he was like, and then I had them with white little fishnet socks. He just looked at me, and I was like, I know. People my age aren't supposed to dress like this, but I'm comfortable. So
it doesn't matter. It's how you. Doesn't matter. See, I'm going to leave this almost as the last comment because
that's
Nick
right.
Is right.
No, that's right. Paula's comment should be last because that's hilarious.
Okay, I'll put Paula's on there.
That was an 80s song.
Yes.
Sing it, Nick. Do you know it?
Grandma got ran over by a reindeer.
Walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You may say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandma, we believe.
Good stuff. On that note, guys, we're gonna crash LinkedIn here and kill it with our singing and bring back the 80s. Now, I just want to say, Erika, thank you for being on. This was a blast.
You're so welcome.
I mean, when you, and there it is. We got the Southern twang. Yeah. But no, thank you for being on. I really appreciate it. I value our friendship. Our friendship is just blossomed over the last 4 or 5 months, and always been good to me. So I absolutely appreciate that. So let the world out there. Now we're on LinkedIn and YouTube. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yes, I am so grateful. I am so grateful for you. Thank you so much, Nick.
You're welcome.
Oh, you were talking to me. Let them know where I can. Oh, LinkedIn. Sorry,
Well,
I was in the middle of. Yeah, I was having the Mutual Admiration Society. Now you want me to talk about me. I am on LinkedIn, and I have a business page on LinkedIn called Erika Warfield Sales, and you can find me elsewhere at erikawarfield.com.
Like down there on the bottom of the screen?
Yes, just like that, down there at the bottom of the screen. Erika with a K, the correct way to spell Erika.
Awesome.
All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
So, everybody, thank you for joining our show. You can find us on. Please subscribe to my YouTube page.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Come find us on LinkedIn. We got LinkedIn Live now, so we're going to be on a lot more. So you guys are going to see this mug a lot. So
yes. Subscribe and then smash the bell for sure, so you get the notifications.
Absolutely. But no, thank you everybody for supporting us. Thank you, Erika, for being on. Next Tuesday we have Dennis Gleanan. He is an author out of Canada. We're going to have fun with him. Connection that I've met a couple months back and had a nice conversation with him. So this will be great, and we'll talk about all the great stuff he's doing up there. So another Canadian on the show, Paul Enron. There you go. All right, everybody have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.